Are you walking every day thinking it's the best exercise for staying healthy after 60? But have you noticed that despite all those walks, you're still losing strength, struggling to get up from chairs, feeling your balance getting worse, and watching your mobility decline anyway? If you're over 60 and you've been told that walking is all you need, but you're finding that your legs feel weaker, your stamina isn't improving, you're more prone to falls, and activities that used to be easy now leave you exhausted, then what I'm about to reveal might shock you. Walking alone after 60 is not enough to maintain the strength, balance, and functional fitness you need to stay independent. And in fact, there are 5 specific exercises that scientific research shows are far more effective at preventing falls, building the strength that actually matters for daily life, and keeping you mobile and independent well into your 80s and beyond. Here's what physical therapists and gerontologists know but rarely emphasize clearly enough. Walking is excellent for cardiovascular health, but it does almost nothing to build the leg strength, core stability, and balance capacity that are the actual determining factors in whether you can maintain independence or end up needing assistance with basic activities. And the 5 exercises I'm about to teach you target exactly those critical areas that walking misses. Drop a comment right now and tell me honestly, how many times per week are you currently walking, and have you noticed it's not giving you the strength results you expected? These aren't complicated gym exercises that require equipment or athletic ability. These are functional movements that directly translate to real-world activities like getting out of a car, carrying groceries, reaching for items on high shelves, and recovering your balance when you stumble. And when done consistently just 3 times per week for 20 minutes, research shows they reduce fall risk by over 40%, increase functional strength more effectively than walking alone, and literally add years of independent living to your life. The question isn't whether you should stop walking entirely. Walking is still valuable. The question is whether you're willing to add these 5 scientifically proven exercises that will give you the strength and stability that walking simply cannot provide, so you can live independently, avoid the nursing home, and keep doing the activities you love without fear of falling or becoming weak and dependent. Let me be direct about what's happening to your body right now if you're relying only on walking for exercise after 60, because understanding this will help you see why these 5 specific exercises are so critical. Walking is primarily a cardiovascular activity that keeps your heart and lungs healthy, which is certainly valuable, but it does very little to build or maintain the type of strength that actually matters for independent living, specifically your leg strength for standing from seated positions, your core strength for balance and stability, your hip strength for preventing falls, and your upper body strength for carrying things and catching yourself when you stumble. Every year after 60, if you're not doing resistance-based exercises that specifically challenge these muscle groups, you're losing 3 to 5% of your muscle mass annually in a process called sarcopenia. And this muscle loss is what causes the weakness, the fear of falling, the difficulty with stairs, the struggle to get up from low chairs, and eventually the loss of independence that so many seniors experience. Walking simply doesn't provide enough resistance to prevent this muscle loss. Your muscles need to work against significant resistance to maintain or build strength, and the gentle, repetitive motion of walking, while great for endurance, doesn't create the stimulus your muscles need to stay strong. Think about elderly people you know who walk regularly but still struggle with basic strength tasks. They can walk for 30 minutes but they need help getting out of a deep chair. Or they can stroll through the park but they can't carry a bag of groceries up the stairs. Or they're terrified of losing their balance despite walking daily. If you've ever felt frustrated that despite walking regularly you're still getting weaker in ways that matter for daily life, just type "frustrated" in the comments. I want you to know this is incredibly common and it's not your fault. The statistics are sobering. Over 30% of people over 65 fall each year, and of those who fall and break a hip, nearly half never regain their previous level of independence. Many end up in nursing homes, and the fall often marks the beginning of a rapid decline in health and quality of life. Walking alone does not adequately address the balance, strength, and reaction time deficits that cause these falls, which is why you need these 5 specific exercises that target the exact physical capacities that prevent falls and maintain independence. The first exercise that orthopedic surgeons and physical therapists consider essential for seniors is the sit-to-stand exercise. And this movement is perhaps the single most functional exercise you can do because it directly mimics and strengthens the exact motion you need dozens of times every single day. Here's exactly how to do it. Stand in front of a sturdy chair with your feet shoulder-width apart. Slowly lower yourself down to a seated position, taking about 3 seconds to descend. Lightly touch the chair with your buttocks without fully sitting down and relaxing. Then immediately stand back up, taking about 3 seconds to rise. And repeat this for 10 to 15 repetitions. And if this feels too easy, you can hold light weights at your sides or do it slower to increase difficulty. Or if it's too hard initially, you can use your hands on the armrests for assistance until you build strength. What makes this exercise so powerful is that it strengthens your quadriceps, glutes, and core muscles simultaneously in the exact pattern you use when getting out of chairs, cars, toilets, and beds. And these are the moments when many seniors struggle and feel most vulnerable. The sit-to-stand exercise builds explosive leg power that walking never provides. It teaches your body to control descent, which prevents falling into chairs. It improves your ability to stand from low surfaces, which is a major predictor of independence. And it directly addresses one of the most common causes of nursing home admission, which is inability to safely transfer from seated to standing positions. Studies comparing walking-only programs to programs including sit-to-stand exercises show that the sit-to-stand group develops significantly more leg strength, better balance, faster walking speed, and lower fall rates, with improvements that walking alone cannot match. Seniors who do this exercise 3 times per week report that getting out of chairs becomes effortless. They no longer dread using low sofas or car seats. They feel more confident in their leg strength, and they notice improvements in stair climbing and general mobility that walking never provided. The beauty of this exercise is that it requires no equipment beyond a chair. It takes less than 2 minutes to complete a set, and the strength gains translate immediately to daily life. Within just 2 weeks of consistent practice, most people notice they're standing up more easily and feeling more stable on their feet. The second critical exercise is the single leg stand with support. And while this might sound simple, it's one of the most powerful fall prevention exercises that exists because it directly trains the balance and hip strength that keep you upright when you stumble or step on uneven ground. Stand next to a wall, counter, or sturdy chair where you can lightly touch with your fingertips for balance support. Lift one foot slightly off the ground, keeping your knee bent at about 90 degrees, and hold this position for 20 to 30 seconds while staying as tall and stable as possible. Then switch legs and repeat. And as you get stronger over weeks, gradually reduce how much you're touching the support until you can balance without touching it all. What's happening during this deceptively simple exercise is remarkable. You're strengthening the small stabilizer muscles in your hips, ankles, and core that are responsible for keeping you balanced during normal walking and especially during the critical moments when you start to lose balance. You're training your proprioceptive system, which is your body's ability to sense where you are in space and make rapid corrections. You're improving your ankle stability, which is often the first line of defense against falls, and you're building the confidence to trust your balance in challenging situations. Research on fall prevention consistently shows that balance exercises like single leg standing reduce fall risk more effectively than walking or general aerobic exercise, with some studies showing up to 50% reduction in falls among seniors who practice balance training regularly compared to those who only walk. The single leg stand also reveals imbalances between your legs that you might not notice during walking. Most people discover one leg is significantly weaker or less stable than the other, and addressing this imbalance is crucial for preventing falls, because many falls occur when you unexpectedly put weight on your weaker side. Have you ever noticed one leg feels weaker or less stable than the other? Let me know in the comments which side is your weaker one, left or right. People who practice this exercise daily report that they feel more sure-footed on uneven surfaces. They're less afraid of tripping over obstacles, they recover more quickly when they start to stumble, and they notice improvements in their walking stability that they never achieved through walking alone. The progression is important. Start with heavy support if needed, even holding on firmly with both hands. Then gradually lighten your touch over weeks until you're barely touching with one finger. Then try brief moments of hands-free balance, and eventually work up to 30 seconds or more of stable single-leg standing without support. And this progression might take several weeks or months, but every improvement you make is directly reducing your fall risk and extending your independence. Exercise number 3 is the modified deadlift or hip hinge movement. And this exercise is absolutely critical because it strengthens your posterior chain, your glutes, hamstrings, and lower back muscles, which are the muscles that keep you upright, allow you to bend safely to pick things up, and prevent the forward hunched posture that so many seniors develop. Stand with feet hip-width apart, holding a light weight like a water bottle, jug, or light dumbbell in both hands in front of your thighs. Keep a slight bend in your knees. Hinge forward at your hips by pushing your buttocks backward while keeping your back straight and chest lifted. Lower the weight down your thighs toward your knees as far as you comfortably can while maintaining a straight back. Then squeeze your glutes and hamstrings to return to standing position, and repeat for 10 to 12 repetitions. This movement pattern is Exercise number 3 is the modified deadlift or hip hinge movement. And this exercise is absolutely critical because it strengthens your posterior chain, your glutes, hamstrings, and lower back muscles, which are the muscles that keep you upright, allow you to bend safely to pick things up, and prevent the forward hunched posture that so many seniors develop. Stand with feet hip-width apart, holding a light weight like a water bottle, jug, or light dumbbell in both hands in front of your thighs. Keep a slight bend in your knees. Hinge forward at your hips by pushing your buttocks backward while keeping your back straight and chest lifted. Lower the weight down your thighs toward your knees as far as you comfortably can while maintaining a straight back. Then squeeze your glutes and hamstrings to return to standing position, and repeat for 10 to 12 repetitions. This movement pattern is essential for functional independence because bending to pick up objects from the floor, lifting items, and maintaining upright posture all depend on strong posterior chain muscles, and walking does almost nothing to strengthen these crucial muscles. What makes the hip hinge so valuable is that it teaches you to bend properly using your hips rather than rounding your back. It strengthens the exact muscles that prevent the bent-over posture many seniors develop. It builds functional strength for real-world tasks like picking up grandchildren or lifting laundry baskets. And it protects your lower back by teaching proper body mechanics. Research comparing functional strength exercises like deadlifts to walking shows dramatically different results. The strength training group develops actual increases in muscle size and power, improved bone density, better posture, and enhanced ability to perform daily tasks, while walking groups maintain cardiovascular fitness but show minimal strength improvements. The modified deadlift is also one of the best exercises for building bone density in your hips and spine, which is crucial for preventing osteoporosis and the devastating hip fractures that end so many seniors' independence. Seniors who incorporate hip hinge movements report that they no longer fear bending over to pick things up. Their back pain often decreases because their muscles are supporting their spine properly. They notice they naturally stand taller with better posture, and they feel capable of physical tasks like gardening or carrying items that had become difficult. Start with very light weight or even no weight initially. The movement pattern is more important than the load, and focus on feeling the work in your glutes and hamstrings rather than your lower back. And if you feel discomfort in your back, reduce the range of motion or decrease the weight until you build strength. The fourth essential exercise is the heel and toe raise combination, and this movement specifically targets your calf muscle. The fourth essential exercise is the heel and toe raise combination, and this movement specifically targets your calf muscles and shin muscles, which are absolutely critical for ankle stability, balance, and preventing the trips and stumbles that lead to falls. Stand near a wall or counter for light balance support if needed. First, do calf raises by rising up onto your toes as high as you can, hold for 2 seconds at the top, then slowly lower back down. Do 15 repetitions, then immediately transition to toe raises by rocking back onto your heels and lifting your toes and forefoot as high as possible. Hold for 2 seconds, lower down, and do 15 repetitions. This exercise combination is deceptively powerful because your ankles are your first line of defense against falls. When you step on something unexpected or your foot lands awkwardly, strong ankles can make rapid corrections that keep you upright, whereas weak ankles collapse and you fall. Walking on flat, even surfaces does almost nothing to challenge or strengthen your ankles in the ways that prevent falls because you're never testing your ankle strength or stability at end ranges of motion, whereas heel and toe raises specifically strengthen the muscles through their full range. The calf muscles also act as a secondary heart, pumping blood back up from your legs, and strong calves improve circulation, reduce swelling in your feet and ankles, and contribute to overall cardiovascular health beyond what walking alone provides. The anterior tibialis muscles on the front of your shin that lift your toes are particularly important because they prevent foot drop, that shuffling gait where seniors don't lift their feet high enough and catch their toes on rugs, curbs, or uneven ground. And strengthening these muscles literally lifts your feet higher during walking, which dramatically reduces trip hazards. Seniors who practice heel and toe raises consistently report that they feel more stable on their feet. They notice they're clearing obstacles better when walking, they have less ankle pain and stiffness, their balance feels more solid, especially on uneven ground, and they experience fewer near falls where they catch their toe on something. This exercise is also easily progressed. Start with support and slower tempo, progress to no support, then try single-leg calf raises, which are significantly more challenging, and eventually you can add weight by holding dumbbells or wearing a weighted vest. The ankle strength and stability you build from this exercise translates immediately to better balance, fewer trips and stumbles, and greater confidence in your ability to walk on varied terrain safely. The fifth and final exercise that rounds out your functional strength program is the standing row or pull exercise, and this upper body movement is critical because it strengthens your back, shoulders, and arms in the exact pattern you need for pulling yourself up from lying down, opening heavy doors, carrying groceries, and most importantly, catching yourself and preventing falls when you lose balance. You can do this with a resistance band anchored at chest height, or by simply pulling against a sturdy railing or post, or with light dumbbells by bending forward and rowing the weights toward your chest. And the key is to pull your shoulder blades back together, keep your elbows close to your body, and focus on squeezing your upper back muscles, doing 10 to 15 repetitions. Upper body strength is dramatically overlooked in senior fitness, with most programs focusing exclusively on legs, but your arms and back play a crucial role in fall recovery. When you start to fall backward, your ability to reach out and catch yourself on furniture, walls, or railings can be the difference between a caught stumble and a devastating fall. And this requires upper body strength that walking provides zero benefit for. The standing row also counteracts the forward rounded shoulder posture that develops from years of sitting and from the natural aging process. And this posture correction has multiple benefits, including easier breathing, reduced neck and shoulder pain, better balance because your center of gravity is properly aligned, and simply looking and feeling more confident and capable. Research on comprehensive strength training for seniors consistently shows that including upper body exercises like rows significantly improves functional independence scores, reduces fall risk beyond lower body training alone, improves ability to perform daily tasks, and contributes to better quality of life. The pulling strength you develop translates directly to real-world situations, getting up from the floor after a fall, pulling open heavy store doors, carrying shopping bags, lifting a suitcase, pulling weeds in the garden, and countless other daily activities that require upper body strength that walking never develops. Which of these 5 exercises sounds most important for your current needs? Comment below. Sit to stands, single leg balance, hip hinges, heel toe raises, or rows. Let me know what you need most. Seniors who add upper body strength work to their routine report feeling more capable overall, noticing that they're not avoiding tasks that require arm strength anymore, experiencing less shoulder and neck pain, and having greater confidence in their physical abilities. Now let me address the critical question of programming. How often should you do these exercises? How many repetitions? And how does this fit with your current walking routine? Because understanding the proper dosage is essential for getting results without overdoing it. The research shows that doing these 5 exercises 3 times per week is the sweet spot for most seniors. This frequency provides enough stimulus to build strength and improve balance while allowing adequate recovery time between sessions. And each session should take only 15 to 20 minutes once you're familiar with the movements. Here's a simple program to follow. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, do all 5 exercises. 10 to 15 sit to stands, 30 seconds per leg single leg stands, 10 to 12 hip hinges, 15 calf raises plus 15 toe raises, and 10 to 15 rows. Rest on Tuesday, Thursday, and weekends. And you can absolutely continue your walking on the other days because walking still provides cardiovascular benefits, stress relief, and enjoyment. But now you're adding the crucial strength and balance training that walking alone cannot provide. Start conservatively with lower repetitions and use support as needed. It's far better to do 5 perfect repetitions than 15 sloppy ones. And expect to feel some muscle soreness in the first week or two as your body adapts, but this is normal and actually indicates the exercises are working. Track your progress somehow, whether it's marking a calendar, keeping a simple log, or just mentally noting improvements, because seeing your progress is incredibly motivating. Maybe you start needing to hold the counter for single leg stands, and after 3 weeks you barely touch it. Or sit to stands that were difficult at first become easy. Or you notice you're walking with better posture. Or you realize you got up from a low couch without thinking about it. And these small victories compound over time into dramatic improvements in functional capacity. Most people notice meaningful improvements within 4 weeks. More confident movement, better balance, less fear of falling, easier time with daily tasks. And after 3 months, the changes can be dramatic with significant strength gains, noticeably better balance, improved posture, and a genuine sense of feeling younger and more capable. I need to address some concerns and objections that might be running through your mind right now, because I want you to actually start this program rather than just thinking it sounds good but never beginning. You might be worried that you're too weak or too out of shape to do these exercises, but remember that every exercise has modifications. You can use support for balance exercises, hold on to armrests for sit to stands, start with no weight for hip hinges, and every exercise can be scaled to your current ability level, and within weeks you'll progress beyond where you started. Perhaps you're concerned about safety and the risk of falling while doing these exercises, which is valid, but that's exactly why you start with support. Practice near walls or sturdy furniture, begin conservatively, and progress gradually as you get stronger. The temporary small risk of practicing these movements in a controlled way is vastly outweighed by the enormous risk of not building strength and falling during normal life where there's no preparation or safety. Maybe you think you're too old to build strength and these exercises won't work for you, but research consistently shows that people in their 70s, 80s, and even 90s can build muscle and improve functional capacity with proper strength training. It's never too late. Your muscles still respond to stimulus regardless of age, and functional improvements can happen at any age. Some of you might be thinking that these exercises will hurt your joints or aggravate arthritis, but the opposite is actually true. Controlled strength training done properly strengthens the muscles that support your joints, reduces joint pain over time, improves joint stability, and is actually one of the best treatments for arthritis, though you should start gently and stop if you experience sharp pain. What's your biggest concern about starting these exercises? Fear of falling, worried about pain, thinking you're too weak, or something else? Be honest in the comments so I can help address your specific concern. You might be attached to your walking routine and worried about giving it up, but I'm not asking you to stop walking. I'm asking you to add 15 to 20 minutes of strength work 3 times per week, and you can continue walking the other days or even on the same days after your strength work, so you're enhancing your routine, not replacing it. Perhaps you don't have weights or equipment and think you can't do these exercises, but you truly need almost nothing. A chair, a wall, and maybe a jug of water or canned food for light weight is sufficient to start, and proper technique matters far more than equipment. Close your eyes for a moment and picture yourself 1 year from now having done these 5 exercises 3 times per week consistently. Imagine getting up from chairs effortlessly without pushing off with your hands, walking with confidence knowing your balance is solid and you won't fall, bending down to pick up a dropped item without hesitation or fear, carrying groceries or playing with grandchildren without feeling weak, and moving through your day with the strength and capability you had years ago. Picture your next doctor's appointment where they test your balance and strength and they're genuinely impressed by your improvement, where you walk faster and steadier during their simple tests, where they say, whatever you're doing, keep it up because you're actually getting stronger and more capable rather than declining. Envision yourself 2 years from now, still living independently in your own home with confidence, able to do the physical tasks that many of your peers can no longer do, avoiding the nursing home, staying active with family, and proving that aging doesn't have to mean becoming weak and dependent. Now, imagine the opposite. 1 year from now, still only walking, but noticeably weaker in functional ways, struggling more with chairs and stairs, more fearful of falling, perhaps having experienced a fall that shook your confidence, your world getting smaller as physical tasks become harder, and that creeping realization that independence is slipping away because you didn't build the strength that matters. Here's what I need you to do right now. Today, before you click away from this video and forget about it, I want you to try these 5 exercises in a very simple way right now to prove to yourself that you can do them. Stand up right now and do 5 sit-to-stands from your chair. Yes, right now. Pause the video if you need to. Just 5 repetitions of sitting down and standing up slowly and controlled. Now stand near a wall and try single leg balance for just 10 seconds per side, using the wall for light support. That's it. You just did 2 of the 5 exercises and it took less than 2 minutes, and you're already on your way to building functional strength. Right now, comment below and commit to starting this 5 exercise routine 3 times per week. Write 3x per week commitment so it's public and real, and tell me which day you're starting. Monday? Tomorrow? Today? Schedule these exercise sessions in your calendar or phone like they're doctor's appointments that you cannot miss, because in a very real sense, doing these exercises is more important for your long-term health and independence than most doctor's visits. Find an accountability partner. Maybe your spouse can do them with you, or you can text a friend each time you complete a session, or you join our online community where people share their progress. Accountability dramatically increases your chances of sticking with it. Take a video or photo of yourself doing the exercises today, then take another one in 4 weeks and compare. The visible improvements in your form, confidence, and capability will motivate you to continue. Track one simple metric, maybe how many sit-the-stands you can do in a row, or how long you can balance on one leg, or how many calf raises you complete, and retest monthly to see your progress, because quantifiable improvement is incredibly motivating. If you experience any sharp pain, dizziness, or concerning symptoms, stop and consult your doctor. But muscle soreness and fatigue are normal and actually indicate the exercises are working, so don't let temporary discomfort discourage you from a practice that will literally add years of independent living to your life. The truth that every physical therapist, geriatric specialist, and orthopedic surgeon knows but doesn't always communicate clearly is this: walking is wonderful, but it's not enough, and if you want to maintain the strength, balance, and functional capacity to live independently well into your 80s and beyond, you must do resistance-based exercises that challenge your muscles and balance in ways that walking simply cannot provide. The seniors who are still strong, stable, and independent into advanced age aren't just lucky. They're doing strength and balance training, whether formally or informally, through physical activities that provide resistance and challenge, and you can become one of them starting with these 5 scientifically proven exercises. Your muscles are waiting to respond, your balance can improve, your functional capacity can increase, and your independence can be extended, but only if you take action starting today. Before you go, 3 things. First, hit that like button if you found this information valuable and you're going to try these exercises. Second, subscribe so you don't miss more videos on staying strong and independent after 60. And third, tell me in the comments which of the 5 exercises you're most excited or nervous to try, and ask any questions you have so I can help you succeed. Now turn off this video, stand up, do 5 sit-to-stands right now to prove you can do it, and commit to starting this program this week. Your future independent self is depending on the decision you make right now, so choose strength, choose stability, choose independence, and let's do this together.